All right, Timothy. Don't worry. Hello. So today, Tim and I are recording this video for you because we are currently attending a training that's done by Coach Michael Burt. So we decided to share a previous training with you that we all attended in November in Las Vegas. So Tim and I were going to just take a couple minutes real quick, talk through why this was valuable for us, and then link this to the rest of the video, the rest of the training that we attended. And it's a little bit long. It's absolutely valuable information. And Coach Burt, we're lucky enough to be part of a group, the Honey Badgers at eXp Realty, and that organization pays for us to, have access to them on a pretty regular basis. But the training from Vegas we're sharing covers attracting clients, growing an organization, and how to work through the steps to accomplish that. So Tim, I can go first, or you can, just to share.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is in kind of how he talks about, finding clients that, you want to work with that share your beliefs. I think once you're aware of that fact, you start to see it everywhere. So what Pete and I were talking about previously before this was the fact that some of the most enjoyable transactions that I've personally had are with clients that I generally get along with. We have a similar belief system, maybe a similar background, maybe we were both military, for example. But there are a set of underlying beliefs that we both share that just generally make the day-to-day, communication a little bit smoother. And overall, in my opinion, the transactions are usually smoother. So
right. Well, and if you say it on a simple level, man, it's like, and that's why people have friends, and you're not friends with other people, and
Exactly.
it's easier to work with people that you on some core level connect with at all, really. And so, and just off my notes too. So one of the key things I learned at the event was what you just said, the concept of clients are attracted to what you believe. And what you're selling is a set of beliefs and core values where you need to share those things with people. You can just straight up say it, where I believe this, I believe that, I believe that we need to do this because of this to get this result. So you're connecting with others that believe what you do, and selling is ultimately aligning yourself with other people that believe the same things as you. And you're not a realtor, don't commoditize yourself. You're not like salt. You don't trade on the NASDAQ. You're a person with a set of beliefs, and you don't lead with what you do. Because if you lead with I'm a realtor, then a client's going to say, oh, well, my brother's a realtor, so I don't need you. Bye. And the last piece real quick is the other key items was, it was a five steps to a sale. Number one, initiate the idea, call someone, present to them, share your beliefs. So number two, it's disarming via connection. Once you share those beliefs, you connect with them, you talk through what they think, what they need, which leads into number three is locating the problem, seeing the opportunity. There's always the timing and motivation for real estate and everything. And four is sharing the explanation of service. This is how I do what I'm going to do to help you. And then finally, number five is always pushing the client to something in the future, setting up the next call, if at a bare minimum, putting them on an email drip campaign, just so you know that they're going to hear from you again. So with that, awesome. Please enjoy the video. And again, we're going to be back to doing it live next week. This week we're training with Coach Burt, and hope that you can join us at some point in the future. We'll try to share more from him.
Thank you, guys.
Be able to leverage what he teaches for all of us. And so I thank you guys for making a small investment to be here. That means a lot to us. It's going to be the best thing you can get out of the day for sure. Probably make the whole event. So I don't know what I'm going to have here, my friend. No, other than that, let's just give Coach Burt a huge Honey Badger welcome. Let's make everyone hear it.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Love you, man. Love you. Thank you. Come on, folks, can I hear it? Come on, give me something here. Give me some love. There we go. Honey badgers. I was looking up the definition of a honey badger today. You guys are bad to the bone. You know what I'm talking about? Fearless. Does that sound like a honey badger? Yep. Right? Doing big things. Rough, tough. Can take criticism. Can take coaching. Man, you guys are my kind of people. And when I was speaking in Nashville, Tennessee, they gave me 20 minutes that day. at that EXP event. And you're going to hear me talk about this tonight, that people do business with other people who believe the same things they do. So within 20 minutes, Jay Kinder walked up to me, we're done. He said, man, I've been looking for a great coach. You're going to be my coach. Now, at that time, I didn't know how big of a deal Jay Kinder was. I was like, then I started telling people, man, I'm working with this guy named Jay Kinder. Like, Jay Kinder, oh my God. Like, you're working with Jay Kinder? And then Albie Stasic, Michael Reese, John Kitchens, all these people. Man, give them a hand because they are the real deal, would you? Because the leadership, how many of you join this team because you believe the same thing the leaders do? Yes? Okay. So we got to get into that tonight, because when you really start attracting other people, to attract other people, we must become attractive. And that's coming from a little 5'6" bald-headed dude. You understand what I'm saying? Like I ain't talking about how good looking you are. I'm talking about what you put out to the marketplace that says, hey, with me, I can take you to a better place in the world. And so we're going to break down this concept of the explanation of service. I'm going to give a little bit of background. How many of you have seen me speak before? Raise your hand if you've seen me speak. Okay, so some of you have seen me. I spent a decade of my life as a championship women's basketball coach, and moms and dads would drop their daughters off to me at 14 years old, and they all said the same thing. Coach, my daughter's got a lot of, okay, potential. Somebody said drama. I heard that. Attitude. I heard that too, right? And I got a 9-year-old daughter going on 40, and I get it, man. But they would say my daughter's got a whole lot of what? Potential. She just needs something. What do you think they said she needed? Discipline, structure, accountability, focus, right? And I would say thank you for bringing your daughter to the greatness factory, because we are going to manufacture her greatness. How many of you believe a great real estate team can take the raw talent and potential of people, put them into a system, and manufacture their greatness? See, this is really what duplication is about, is I'm going to take your raw talent and your raw potential and your raw energy, and I'm going to put you into a system, and in that system, I'm going to manufacture your greatness in 4 parts of your nature: the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit, in all 4 parts of your nature, because we're going to make a decision to go pro. And at some point in everyone's life, we leave our amateur desires behind, and we make a decision to go pro in our life, because we want to make the pro money. Fair enough? So I would look at those moms and dads, and I would say, you think your daughter has potential, which is idea of kinetic energy. That is stored until activated. That potential is stored until activated. I'm coaching 81-year-old, 2 78-year-olds, a 71-year-old, 66-year-old. These people call me and say, man, I still got a lot of potential. Jay Kinder, Al Stasic said, I still got a lot of what? In comparison to my potential. So I would say, you're telling me your daughter's got a lot of potential, right? And they would say, absolutely. My daughter's got a lot of potential. And I would say, I got to ask you a question. It's going to be a tough question. And they would say, Coach, you can ask me anything. And I would say, is your daughter watching you reach your potential? And they would go, woo! Like, I didn't know you were going to be coaching me. And I'm like, I will run your little ass around the parking lot just like I do theirs, right? Because here's the deal. Is it not hypocritical for us to tell our kids they have potential if they're not watching us reach ours? Yes or no? So how many of you in this room think your EXP business has a tremendous amount of potential? Which is an idea of kinetic energy that is stored until activated. Hopefully tonight we're going to activate that potential. But more importantly, we're going to teach you how to go out to attract other people. But to attract other people, we must become attractive, because we cannot give away what we don't possess. You can't give me knowledge if you don't have knowledge. You can't give me energy if you don't have energy. You can't give me skill if you don't have skill. So from 18 to 25, I studied under a guy named Dr. Stephen Covey, and Covey wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Principles of Good to Great, the Principle-Centered Leadership, and I was studying how do you activate a person's potential. That's what I was most fascinated by when I was a high school basketball coach. How do I take this player and activate her deepest human potential in her knowledge? I want you to write these 4 things down. Because if you're trying to grow your business, there's only 4 things that's going to keep you from growing it. Number 1, knowledge. That's the mind. Number 2, skill. That's the body. Number 3, passion or prey drive. That's the heart. And number 4, confidence for the spirit. Attracting other people is a skill. Explaining your value is a skill. These are skills that can be honed. So if you're trying to go from A to B, my business is here, and I'm trying to get here, then how do I get here? Is I go to work on all four parts of my nature: my knowledge, my skill, my desire, and my confidence. And at some point in every person's life in this room, part of going from A to B is going to include passive income. Would you agree? Yes. And the faster you get to this point, the more serious you're going to take recruiting other people. Right? And you are making a shift in your life from just selling real estate to building big organizations because you're looking for that passive income. And you're going pro in that passive income. And passive income really is when your passive income exceeds your living expenses. See, when Kiyosaki wrote Retire Young, Retire Rich, he only was making $57,000 a year, but his living expenses were $55,000 a year. So in essence, he was rich. Because his passive income was greater than what? His living expenses. So when I was coaching these players, I was sitting there and I was fascinated by one of these four parts: knowledge, skill, desire, and confidence. Just by saying that, how many of you can figure out where you're lacking right now? You don't have the knowledge you need. You don't have the skill you need. You don't have the prey drive or desire you need. You don't have the confidence that you need. And if we could go to work on those four parts of your nature, maybe reactivate that drive in you, then you would go out and reach your potential. So 25 years old, I was winning games, and people were constantly asking me, what are you doing with your team? What are you doing with these players? How are you getting these players to play this hard? Why are they so disciplined? Discipline is a derivative of the word disciple, which means to give yourself to a person or cause you believe in. How many of you believe in your future? Where does your future live? See, people tell me, it lives right here. No, it actually lives in your imagination. You go there first in the mind before you go there in the body. I can't see your future. The only person who can see your future is you. Okay? So whether you will become a disciple to that future or not is dependent on who? You. And that helps you move from A to B. So 25 years old, I sit down and I write my first book, a little book called Changing Lives Through Coaching. And I wrote it for coaches, but I couldn't sell it to coaches. It'd be like you writing a real estate book, but you can't sell it to real estate people. Because I was a competitor to all these people, right? And so I write this book, but I can't sell it to coaches, but somehow it got in the hands of business people. And business people started saying, will you come over and speak to my team and motivate? That word motivate means to move. The word inspire means to breathe life into. So they said, we come speak to my people and motivate. And I'd go speak for an hour and I'd be like, this is good, man. Thank you guys. I got to go back and coach my team because I love these kids. Right? Like these kids are everything to me. I'm trying to win a championship. I haven't won a championship yet. I'm trying to build the body, mind, heart, and spirit. I got to go back to the kids. And they said, no, will you come back? And I'm like, no, I'm not interested. And I was speaking to Dell Computers one day and said, no, I'm not interested. Will you come back? Will you come back and coach our people? How many of you believe everybody needs a coach in life? Yes. Everybody needs a mentor in life. Everybody needs a person who will have conversations with you that you don't want to have. Make you do things you don't want to do. Help you become something you didn't think you could become. So I'm like, I got to go back and coach these kids. And I'm at Dell Computers speaking to these computer folks. And the guy comes to me and said, man, we loved it. We love this. Will you come back and coach our people? I said, dude, I'm not interested. Thank you for buying my little book, but I got to coach these kids. And we sat there for 15 minutes and kind of argued back and forth. He's like, are you sure? Like, you don't come back and coach our people? I'm like, look, man, thank you, but no thank you. I'm coaching kids. I do not want to coach adults, which are just big kids, by the way. Would you agree? And so I'm like, I'm going back to coach my kids. And at the end, he finally reaches in his pocket and he pulls out an envelope. And he said, all right, fair enough. There you go. I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's your check for speaking to us for an hour. And I opened up that check and it was more in an hour than I made in a month. You know what I said then? I said, surely somebody will come along and love them kids as much as I do. Like, I love them, but somebody else will love them too. Right? I had a big revelation. Truth is, I stayed 6 more years until I won the championship that I said I was going to win. Because I believe, thank you very much, thank you. And I'm leading into something here. Because what I'm going to teach you tonight about recruiting people is very simple. I am attracted to what you believe. I believe when a man asks you to go 1 mile, you go 2. I believe in always over-delivering in what you promise. Right? I believe in the potential and power of people. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. And if you believe the same things I do, you will move toward me. Yes or no? If you don't believe the same things I do, you will move away from me. Recruiting is not me trying to convince you. See, you've already bought into EXP. And by the way, since I've been working with EXP, if you can't sell EXP to other people, you can't sell anything. Right or wrong? Yes or no? Yes. Now, here's the deal. And I believe that. But here's the deal. What you're really selling is a set of beliefs. What you're really selling is a set of convictions that you believe at your core. And when two people believe the same things, man, the power of that, the power of moving forward. So tonight I want to teach you how to explain your value to go out and attract people to the marketplace. So 31 years old, I retired from athletic coaching after I won a championship. It was during the 08 recession. Anybody remember the 08 recession? Anybody in real estate during 08? So I literally retire in March of 08. And I'm either really smart or really dumb. And I start a business right in the middle of the recession. And I would go out and speak. I had no explanation of service, what I'm going to teach you tonight. I had no selling system. I had no $1 million follow-up. I had none of the things I have today. All I had was a bunch of confidence. All I had was my belief that I could help people get to a better place in their life. So I go out and I was speaking at just anything. I call it the bad chicken circuit. Where they would feed me bad chicken, Rotary clubs, civic clubs. They never paid you any money. They paid you in food, right? And I would just get up there with my little heart, man, just coach those people. And I'm speaking at this little thing one morning, and this dude's sitting over here, he's looking at me, and he comes up, and he comes to me, he said, man, I'm one of the biggest home builders in Tennessee. He said, you come see me tomorrow. He goes, I don't know what you got, but we need some of it. Right? He's used to selling 1,000 homes a year, 40 a week. I go to his office the next day, he said, Coach, we're used to selling 40 houses a week, we're selling 4 a week. Everybody's depressed. I'm depressed. I'm losing money like crazy. Okay? My goal this year is to only lose $500,000. He said, if you can help me only lose $500,000, I'm hiring you as my coach right now. He said, how much does it cost? I have no pricing structure. I go, $125,000. He goes, let's round it to 120 and get started. And I'm like, well, dang, I should ask for $250,000. Right or wrong? You ever been in that place before? Yeah. So I go in here and I'm trying to motivate real estate agents that are sitting in model homes that used to make $300,000 a year, that have never made an outbound call in their life. And I'm trying to motivate them to go get it. And that was a dogfight, man. And I said, man, the first thing we're going to learn is we go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. I believe that it all goes to zero at midnight. I believe that we go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. I believe there comes a time when winter asks what you've been doing all spring and summer. And because of my background, I never allow myself to become complacent. Because I used to be that basketball coach and I could win on Tuesday night, get lazy, my team would get lazy, buy their own hype. And then we get beat on Friday night, and that was embarrassing. And I hated losing more than I loved winning. Okay, I'm a defensive pessimist. Saban is a defensive pessimist, which means we hate losing more than we love winning. So we will do everything we can to win, so to avoid the embarrassment of losing. Everybody see that? So 31 years old, I get started in my coaching business, and it was big home builders that were hiring me. It was real estate companies that were hiring me. It was mortgage companies that were hiring me. It was banks that were hiring me. And I'm really sitting here figuring out, man, how do I coach the top people in the world? What am I observing here? And what I started believing is, man, you can't wait until there's a bad time to start getting coaching. You got to start right now. I believe coaching is not something you did, it's something you do. The military doesn't hand a person a machine gun and say, watch a video, good luck. They train, and they train, and they train, and they train, and they actually train 9 times to 1 before they go into battle. Real estate agents need to be training. They need to be training every day. Knowledge, skill, desire, and confidence. So what we're going to talk about tonight is how do you explain your value to another person? How many of you have been in a meeting with another person that was interested in EXP, and you left that meeting and you go, man, I did a terrible job of explaining this. How many of y'all have ever done that? Right? The biggest mortgage originator I coach right now did 200 and 20 million last year. I've been her coach for 7 years. The first time I went in her office, I don't know what happened to me, but I did the worst job of explaining my value. I don't know what happened, man. You ever had a day like that? I left there and I called her back and I said, please, can I come back and do this again? Thank God she said yes, because here's a stat. It takes, if you make a bad first impression, it takes 21 positive interactions to overcome the first negative impression. If you get a chance to explain EXP to me, and you do a terrible job the first time, and you can't explain your value, maybe you don't ever get another chance. Everybody see that? So the framework we're going to teach you is called the explanation of service. Now, here is the premise. And the premise is real simple. People do business with other people that believe the same things they do. We should never lead with what we do. We should always lead with what we believe, to give them a chance to believe it too. When I'm on airplanes, typically the person sitting beside me, when I wear my championship ring, they sit there and they look over at the ring, then they look over it again, then they look over again, and they finally get up enough courage to ask me the question. They say, is that a Super Bowl ring? And I'm thinking, do I look like I play in the NFL? Do I look like I'm a kicker for the Patriots? But it's a great question, because the number one question you're going to get asked when people meet you is what? What do you do? What if you say, man, I'm a realtor? And then I'm from Tennessee, so we stretch out into 3 syllables, realtor. Everybody with me? How many of y'all have said that before? I'm a realtor. When somebody asks you what you do, how many said that before? It's the biggest trap in the world. Because now you have commoditized your own self. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are realtors. The worst thing you could say is I'm a realtor. Because if I don't need a realtor, or I've got a realtor, then why would I need you? Everybody see that? So when I don't want to talk to people on airplanes, I say, oh, I'm a life coach. And they're like, oh, I don't need a life coach. And I'm like, good, then don't talk to me. If I do want to talk to people, I'm like, you know what? It's a great question. I used to be a high school championship basketball coach, but I retired from that. And then they try to figure out, well, how old are you? What did you retire to? And I said, well, before I tell you what I do, let me back up and tell you what I believe. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I believe a good coach can change your whole life. Because of that belief, I have dedicated 30 years of my life to helping people dive into the deepest part of their potential and activate their prey drive to go do something big in the world. Most of the people I coach show a 30 to 40% increase in their sales in a 1-year cycle. And then when I get done, typically if I hit it right, what do you think they say? Man, I've been kind of needing a coach. I've been kind of looking for a coach. Trisha, where you at back there? Trisha hired me to be her coach not long ago. Okay? I didn't call her and say, can I be your coach? She called me and said, man, I want to go to the next level. You don't hire a coach because you're screwed up. You hire a coach because you want to go to the next level. Y'all get that, right? So notice how I position what I said. What if I said I'm just a business coach? What if I said I'm just a coach? What if I said that? There's 700,000 people in the United States that call themselves a coach. The average coach makes $47,000 a year. Do you want a person coaching you that makes $47,000 a year? Okay, am I the same as those people? Yes or no? I'm at a chamber event one night. This guy walks up to me. He's got a name tag on. It says, Larry, the life coach. I said, well, hey, Larry, how are you doing? What do you do? He said, oh, I do what you do. I said, do you have a couple thousand clients? He said, well, no, I don't really have any. I said, are you running a multi-million-dollar company? He said, well, no. And I said, well, Larry, I hate to tell you, but you don't do what I do. But in his mind, what? We're the same. See, in my mind, I don't know what separates you until what? Till you tell me. So the premise is, when you're explaining something to another person, you never lead with what you do. If you jump right into, oh, EXP, we do this, and we do this, and we got this, and this is incredible, what you're really doing is kind of putting a person into a defensive posture. Because I hired 3 years ago a brain science expert. He was the #1 interrogator in the military. Youngest interrogator. And I hired him for 2 years to be my coach. And I said, let me pitch you my services and see what I'm doing. And I pitched him my services. He said, man, that was terrible. He's like, don't ever say it like that again. He said, what you're saying is actually alerting the croc brain in a person, which is the part of the brain that's scared of everything. Your brain was not wired to thrive. It was wired to survive. And when it thinks it's in danger or you're pitching it something, it goes into a defensive state. This is why when you get really excited about EXP and you want to tell somebody real hard, what you're really doing sometimes is scaring their brain to death. Yes or no? Yes. Right? People watch my videos and they see I'm motivated. So it's like when I go to the gym in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, people come up to me and they're like, Coach Burt, let's go. Let's activate that prey drive. I'm like, you better get out of my face. I'm like, do I look motivated at 5 o'clock in the morning? I'm trying to get motivated. So they kind of scare me. You know what I'm saying? Well, when you're explaining your value to another person, what sometimes when you get really excited about something is you're actually scaring their brain. And so he came in and he said, man, you never lead with your core offer. If your core offer is to have a person join your EXP team, he said, you always give. Give value. Give value. And then ask for something. Does everybody see that? Yes. Giving may be, I just make a note to Al, man, I'm watching you, you're doing big things. Congratulations. That's giving. I'm not trying to recruit him. I'm just connecting with him. Everybody hear that? I'm connecting. I'm not trying to sell him anything. I'm connecting. That's it. There's no alert. He's not going to be freaked out. He's not going to move into a defensive posture. I'm giving. You know, you guys were talking about, everybody was talking about Brent Gove to me. I don't know him. So one day I just got his phone number and called him. First thing I said to him is, man, I'm not calling you to sell you anything. I'm just calling to congratulate you on the success you've had with EXP. These guys are talking about you, saying good things about you. I just want to congratulate you on what you've been doing. That's it. I'm just calling for what? To connect. I'm not calling to sell you anything. I'm not trying to recruit you to anything. I'm just calling to congratulate you. I'm just trying to say, man, good for you, man. Good for you. So people do business with other people that believe the same things they do, which is why you need to know what you believe. If I don't know if I'm following you on social media and I can't figure out what you believe, why would I be attracted to you? You don't have a position. I don't know if we line up or not. I believe in doing big things versus small things. How many of y'all do that, right? I believe like gravitate toward like. I believe association breeds assimilation. I believe in going out into the marketplace, right, and helping people do big things. Now, if I believe those things and I share those on social media, if you believe what I believe, you can go, I like that little dude. Which is the first step, yes or no? Right. Hey, I like him. He's upbeat. He's positive. He's intense, but he's positive. I like him. He can help me. And how many people think people are watching you? A lot of people that hire me to be their coach tell me I've watched you for 2 or 3 years on social media. Right, Tom? I've watched you 2 or 3 years, man. I've been watching you on Facebook. I watch your morning videos. I watch you on YouTube, right? 2 or 3 years. But then one day I say one thing, boom. And they go, that's it. I'm signing up today. Because we believe the same things. So this is very important. Selling anything is really just aligning with other people that what? Believe the same things you do. That's why I love this honey badger concept. Tough. Right? Maybe a little difficult. I tell my wife I'm high expectation, not high maintenance. She's like, no, you're high maintenance. Here's the deal though. Don't you want to be around people who got high expectation? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So first step, we got to get clear tonight in what you believe. Now, so here's one of my beliefs. I want to go where I feel celebrated, not where I feel tolerated. Your best client right now. Your best client. Think about how much you enjoy working with them. Think about how much they appreciate you. The reason I love Al and Jay, because they appreciate me as a coach. My 30 years of coaching. It's not hard. It's not a lot of effort between us. They're hungry, I feed them. Everybody see that? Think about your worst client right now. Think about the person that calls and you just look at the phone and you go, oh man, I don't want to answer that phone call. I'm thinking about one dude right now. I hate when that dude calls me. Every year he's like, Coach, I'm ready to sign up for another year. And I'm like, Lord. Now, here's my point. You know why we have that problem about people? Because we really don't believe the same things. All conflict starts when two people don't believe the same things. I believe at some point in your life, you're going to move toward passive income. To move toward passive income, you have to get serious about recruiting and duplication, attracting. Everybody with me? Now, if you tell me that and you say, you're right, I'm in, and then you go out into the marketplace and you don't spend any time or energy in duplicating, I'm going to ask you, man, I thought you told me you believed, right? I'm just a guide, man. You're the hero. I'm just trying to help move you to A to B, man. I want you to wake up one day and your passive income is so strong you do what you want, when you want, where you want. Everybody with me? Yep. You work with who you want. Imagine waking up one day and never having to worry about money again the rest of your life. How nice would that be? To wake up and not have the stress and anxiety that most agents have of having to go out and get it again and sell another house and deal with another difficult person and show 47 houses to one person. Everybody with me? Imagine that day. Now, let me ask you a question. If that's a day you can imagine, you go there in your mind before you go there in the body. Would not it make sense that the highest value of your time is duplication? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So selling is just aligning with other people. Now, this is called the Law of Diffusion. This is a very important stat. Almost my whole life runs on this one thing. This tells me when you present an idea to another person, roughly 2.5% of the people are going to see it one time and take action. How many of you signed up for EXP the first time you heard it? Raise your hand high. The very first time you heard it. I want you to look around the room, folks. There's your early adopters. Notice the number of people it is in the room. Look how small the number was. All right? One time. So some of you present an idea to another person one time. And they say, no, I ain't interested in that. My best friend has not been interested in EXP the whole time. He comes to the event in Nashville that you guys were at. Gusty Goulas takes him to have a drink, explains the EXP model. My best friend calls me the next day. He goes, okay, now I get it. Now I understand it. I only took him one drink. Everybody see that? But what if you were the person that presented him the idea one time and then just gave up on him? Everybody see that? How many of y'all are guilty of that one thing right there? You presented it to a person, they didn't see it, right? When I spoke at 10X, Cardone's 10X in 2018, I can't tell you how many people saw me speak on that stage that hired me 3 years later to be their coach. They said, man, I saw you at 10X in 2018. I liked you. I needed to see more before I hired you to be my coach. Look, 13.5% of the people need to see it 1 to 3 times. 34% early majority, they need to see it 3 to 7 times. Late majority need to see it 7 to 15 times. And the laggards ain't never going to see it. Which is why I believe in being humble, hungry, and coachable. See, one of my core attracting philosophies is I'm looking for who? Hungry, humble, and coachable. If I detect for 1 second if you're arrogant, not humble, not hungry, and not coachable, in the first 15 seconds, I'm out. I do not chase people that I don't think fit in that filter. Does everybody see that? Yes. So when I'm out attracting people to my business, I'm looking for a certain thing. I'm looking for me 5 years ago. See, I've coached the number 1 guy at Zija, number 1 guy at Optavia, number 1 guy at Herbalife. These are top money earners, all earning between 7 and 10 million a year personally. and I ask them, who are you looking for when you're out recruiting people? You know what they all say? Me. 5 years ago. I was frustrated. I wasn't making enough money. I was in a model that didn't work. Who are you looking for out there in the marketplace? You, 5 years ago. Yes or no? Yes. If you're hungry, humble, and coachable. So this tells me how many times I need to present an idea to another person before they take action on it. This never fails me. 16% of people are going to be open and inviting when I present an idea. They need to see it 1 to 3 times. 34%. So for every 100 people I present an idea to, 16 are like, I'm in. Then there's a percentage you got to see it, which is why the follow-up is so critical in your duplication. And I dare say many of you are not going the distance in your follow-up when a person indicates interest. Would you say that's right or wrong? Okay. So we're starting to find areas of the business. Now, these are my 4 steps of the sale when I'm selling and recruiting. Most people never do number 1. I'm initiating an idea. What does initiating mean? Taking action, to start. I'm presenting an idea. All I'm doing is calling you to present an idea. First thing I do is I reach out to people. Hey, how you doing? Where you live? What's going on with you? You're doing big things in the world. I initiate. Then I disarm people. I'm certified in the DISC, which gives me an advantage because I can typically tell what your personality style is by how you even sit in your chair. I can tell your personality style by how you walk in the room. I can tell your personality style typically by the way you respond to my text messages. Right? Monica over here coaching these two. I knew she was a high D off the chart first Zoom. Right? Because I can tell. Now, why does that give me an advantage when I'm communicating with people? Because I'm talking a language in the way they want to be talked to. See, the high D is going to just push information on people, right? And expect them to get it. When they don't get it, it's like, what's wrong with you? You an idiot? Not, I wasn't saying that about you, Monica. But here's my point. That's how high D's think, right? High I's are very social. The I is like, needs to be in a social setting. The I's walk in and say hi to everybody. Hello, how you doing? Good to see you. What do high D's do? Walk straight in, sit down. I'm ready for him to coach. Why is he not coaching me yet? The high S's are very steady, right? The high C's are very compliant. My wife, high S, high C. I'm high D, high I. When we have conflict, it's because she don't understand me and I don't understand her. We're talking 2 different languages. So I connect to people. You'll never go wrong by being nice and smiling. Yes or no? Correct. Be friendly. Meet and greet folks. How you doing? Good to see you. Then I locate a problem. So I ask questions when I'm recruiting people. How's your real estate business doing? So, it's doing okay. Are you on track to hit your goal? Oh, yeah, man. Right? And I'm looking for a problem. Money changes hands when problems are solved. I'm looking for a problem or an opportunity. And people tell me. So I ask the question, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to double my business. I'm trying to build a team. I'm trying to make enough money to do this. Okay, great. Once I know your defining ambition, what you're trying to do, now I know what? How I can help you. Okay, how I can help you. If you go at an agent about duplication that is just trying to figure out how to get to 12 deals, you are talking a language they don't understand. Yes or no? I'll think about this, Al. If you would have came to me when I was 25 years old and you would have said to me, oh my God, you would crush it at EXP. You make so much money at 25 years old in that space I was in my life. I would have been like, why would I need any more money? Why would I want to go do this? I'm happy. Right? I mean, I'm making $50,000 a year, Al. I'm living in a 2-bedroom condo. I'm living the life. I'm coaching. Like if he hit me with that conversation when I was 25, man, I'd have been totally closed off to it. Everybody see that? So when you're sharing your explanation of value, I think there's a bluegill conversation and a blue marlin conversation. And the bluegill is the fish that's got a lot of potential, but they ain't quite there yet. The blue marlin is a person doing a bunch of deals, but they're stuck, mad, frustrated. That's a much different conversation. Does everybody see that? Once I know what you're trying to do, I then share my explanation of belief. I'm like, well, let me tell you what I believe. And let me tell you why I believe it. And let me tell you what it is we do. And let me tell you how we do it different. And then I always push them to something in the future. This is why you need to be doing webinars. This is why you need to be having events. This is why you need to be having get-togethers. So you can always invite people to something in the future. Keep them moving. Keep them in a forward posture. Keep them moving towards something. Okay, so here's the first step. Number one, we start with the belief. I'm going to let you practice in just a second, so be thinking about this. If I ask you today what you believe, could you tell me? Every action we take starts with the belief. Our beliefs drive our actions. I like to talk in terms of threes. There's three things I believe. There's three things I believe. Okay? What do you believe? If you got me and you were recruiting me to come to EXP, and I said, man, you got 15 minutes. First thing you're going to do is initiate. Then you're going to disarm me. Then you're going to ask me what I'm trying to do. Then I'm going to give you a chance to explain your beliefs. What would you say in that moment? Coach, there's really three things I believe. What would that be? I've already shared some of mine. I believe everybody needs a coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe at some point in life you're going to move toward passive income. I believe some of you are level 10 people stuck in level 4 opportunities. I believe we go to bed tired and we wake up hungry, man. I could sit here all day long and share what I believe. When I'm with blue-collar workers, I say, man, I believe our country is built on the back of blue-collar people that get up every day and do things other people don't want to do. When I'm coaching operations team, I say, man, I believe every competitive advantage a company can have can come in how its operations team delivers on what it's promised. Everybody see that? These are core beliefs I have. Okay? So what do you believe? All right. Now, who in EXP has done this exercise already? Okay. All right. Al, I'm going to let you go. Okay. Now, if you were sharing with them, because if you were sharing with them, what would you say you believe?
I believe a successful real estate agent's retirement party should be at a funeral home. It should be down in the Caribbean.
Nice.
Retiring like everyone else does.
I like that.
You know, I believe that throughout the course of a real estate agent's career, they should be building their own sellable asset, not someone else's.
Nice. Okay. That's good. Now, here's the deal. Those are very strong beliefs, yes or no? Yes. Okay. So let me ask you a question. If I'm sitting across from him and I believe that, you think I'm more open to him? Yeah. Okay. John, you want to give it a shot? It's on.
I believe for your business to be better, you have to become better. I believe you can't lead or coach another human unless you can lead and coach yourself first. I believe there's a sequence and a code to unlock anything you want in your life.
Nice. All right, those three beliefs right there. Everybody see that? Notice he didn't say anything about EXP. He's not trying to shove it down anybody's throat. He's just saying what he believes. This initiates a conversation. If I believe the same thing, how would he know, by the way, if I believe the same things he does? What would tell him? Typically the body language. Right? If I believe the same things, I'm like, it's good. It's good. Although I did speak at a Church of Christ once, and I was way off on the body language piece. They didn't laugh at any of the jokes. And I got finished, and I'm like, they hated me. I was raised Church of Christ. And they come up to me, they stood in line to buy my books. And I'm like, I thought y'all hated it. They said, no, we just don't laugh and show any emotion. And so sometimes body language is not right. Now, let me ask you a question. If I ask you right now what you believe, without even thinking about it, I want you to turn to the person beside you, and I want you to give them and I want you to say it like this. There's really three things I believe. I believe this, I believe this, I believe this. What would you say today if you were building out this belief? Because this is really the initiating point of attracting another person. Now, videos, podcasts, webinars, anything you do, you would never see me start a video without saying, hey, I'm Coach Burt, and I believe everybody needs a coach in life. Man, I believe a good coach can change your whole life. Let me tell you why I believe that. Today, let me tell you what we're going to talk about. See what I'm saying? There's a framework to how I'm sharing this with people that gives them a chance. Now, here's the beauty. I typically know in 15 seconds if you're interested or not. That's when I make up my mind if I'm going to pursue you. In the first 15 seconds. I don't chase. People of interest don't chase other people. I attract. This is what I believe. Do you believe it too? And if you do, step over here. And if you don't, step over here. There is no such thing as rejection. The Army, the Navy, the Marines were all recruiting one day. Army got up, be all you can be. Navy got up with their tagline. The Marine got up and said this, there's only 2 of you in this room. Those 2, he said, stand up and walk right over there. And those 2 stood up and walked over there. That's how you recruit people. Everybody see that? Let me tell you what we believe. Okay? So take a second right now. If you had to do this exercise, say to the person beside you, what are your 3 strongest beliefs? Don't be shy.
I think it's on the projector. It's not on your slide. So, do you need another water or anything?
I may run out of water. Oh, there's some water back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to go bring one?
I believe you're broken and
Are you just going to do breaks like this? You're just going to
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What time am I supposed to stop? 7?
I think, right?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom. How about you? Still trying to figure me out?
No, I'm here.
All right. Okay, good. You got it on there?
There you go.
Good. Are you using it yet?
Yeah, not as much as I should. Not every conversation, but
Okay, good. How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
yeah. Hey, good to meet you.
You're on the videos with me, aren't you? Are you on the coaching sessions with me when I do those? No? You look like you are. I know you are. Okay, good.
My name's Harley.
Okay, Harley. That's a cool name, too. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Hello. How are you? Good. How we doing? Don't you love that remarkable?
I love it.
Man, I love it too. How we doing? Good. Nice to meet you, brother. How are you doing? Good to meet you. Where y'all from?
North Carolina.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Good Southern folks.
Yeah.
I like that.
Where are you from in Tennessee?
Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to Nashville.
What? That should be a crime.
I've been to Tennessee, been there a dozen times?
You got to come to Nashville, brother. Come on. You like music? You like country music?
Oh, yeah.
What are we talking about here? All right. We having fun yet? All right. How many of you are serious? Let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10. See, this is how I weed people out. I say to a person, when I talk to them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about this? Because I only work with serious people. See that qualifying question? When my team puts me on the phone with the prospect, I say, man, this is Coach Burt. I understand you're serious about getting better, and let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? Because I only work with serious people. And that gives them a chance to go, I'm real serious, Coach. Good. So we believe the same things. I believe in leaving your amateur desires behind and going pro. I was with a group of people last week, 160 people. They were making $100,000 apiece. In health business, they brought me in to help them get to $1 million. And so I was in that room, and I said, how long you been stuck at 100,000? I said, how many of y'all are glad you're making 100,000 bucks? They raised their hand. I said, man, I wouldn't tell anybody that. Good Lord. I wouldn't tell anybody that. A little baby money like that. Because here's the deal. They brought me in to help those people make $1 million a year.
Right.
Because I believe you're not really making money until you're making $1 million a year in personal income. Everybody with me? That's my personal belief. Anything below $1 million a year personal income, you ain't got something figured out yet. But you're capable of it. If a high school basketball coach that was making $24,000 a year, right, can make millions of dollars, you can too. That's what I believe. Yeah. Everybody see that?
Yep.
I believe that no matter what level you're at in life, there's always another level. How many of y'all believe that? I was speaking not long ago in Salt Lake City, and I flew in on my jet, which is like a 7-passenger Hawker 400. Ed Milet flew in on his jet, which was like a Falcon 900. I'm like, Ed, quit trying to embarrass me, man. Here's the deal. Because I believe no matter what level you're at, man, there's always another level. Y'all believe that? Yes or no? Yes. I'm trying to teach you, when you're attracting people, how to share a set of beliefs with people so that they can move towards you versus away from you. The stronger the belief, the more attraction people either have to it or not have to it. And if they are repelled by it, if you don't have a message that repels some people, you won't have a message that attracts the right people. Everybody see that? So don't be afraid of having very strong beliefs. Don't be afraid of sharing those beliefs with people. Don't be afraid of rejection, because there is no such thing as rejection. Some will, some won't. So what? Just keep on moving, man. Just keep on moving. So how many of you feel like you're getting clear on your beliefs? Okay? How many of you believe you are now finally in a vehicle in real estate that can actually build some serious wealth at EXP? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people believe that if you'd had this opportunity years ago, you'd have been grateful for it? Okay. How deep is your conviction? How deep at your core do you believe it? Because isn't that really what you're selling? Conviction? First I had a revelation. Because of my revelation, I now have a conviction. Because of my conviction, I'm now willing to take action and do whatever it takes. So a person this morning used a timing excuse on me. The time is not right. Do you think I just said, okay, you call me back when the timing is right? No. I said, let me tell you what I believe. I believe if the timing had to be right, I'd still be a high school basketball coach. I believe if the timing had to be right 2 years ago, I'd have never lost the 30 pounds I needed to lose. I believe if the timing had to be right and it was inconvenient, I'd never done anything in my life, because success is inconvenient. So all you're really telling me is you ain't that serious about going to the next level if the timing's not right. Because he was saying he was too busy to have a coach. I said, I got a coach right now. You're not any busier than I am. I take time for my coaching. All he was giving me was a what? Excuse. And an excuse is a self-proclaimed opt-out clause. You could do it, you're capable of doing it, but you find some reason out of doing it, right? So instead of just rolling over and going, okay, well, just call me back when you're ready, I'm like, let me tell you what I believe, man, about timing. Thank you for bringing timing up. Let me tell you what I believe about timing. Where do you go from that? How does he tell me no after that? Right? What could he say? See, because of my beliefs. Okay? Remember what I said about conflict. How many of you have conflict with some of your team members right now, and it's because you don't believe the same things? Okay. So this is very important. You don't want to recruit people who don't believe the same things you do. I believe in coming in early and staying late. So number one is you need to get very clear on what you believe, but you don't need to lead with it and make it all weird and awkward. Like as soon as you talk to a person, like, let me tell you what I believe. No, there's an appropriate way to do this. Now, people always ask me, do you have to go through the whole thing? There's different settings. There's a social setting. Social settings, man, we're just hanging out, having a drink, talking. It's relaxed. It's informal. I say, man, this is what I believe, why I believe it. This is what I do. This That's how we do it different. Then there's a formal setting where you don't have a lot of time to unpack this. Right? I typically say, this is what I believe. This is examples of what we do. Some people we do it with. It's more soft. Everybody see that? When I'm in a sales presentation and I've got their time, I can go through this pretty quickly. This is what we believe and why we believe it. This is what we do. This is kind of how we do it different than other people. Everybody with me? But it all starts with the core belief. That belief does not have to do with real estate, by the way. Al, I don't think yours was all real estate related, right? Who says it had to be related to real estate? What if I said, I believe the person in front of you is the most important person in the world at that moment? I believe in giving people my total and undivided attention. What if I said, I believe there's a difference between a house and a home? A house is made up of sticks and bricks, and a home is made up of memories. I believe in taking people's dreams and turning them into addresses. Everybody see this? When you tell me you got to sleep on it, I believe if you got to sleep on it one more night, you may not be able to sleep in it tomorrow or in the future. Everybody see that? This is what I believe. Okay? Now, number 2, tell me why you believe what you believe. This is called a story of origin. A story of origin is when you had a big revelation about something. Okay? And I want you to go back to a story in your life or a time in your life when you had a big revelation about something. Okay? Now, my new book that's coming out next year is called Flip the Switch. It's about how to activate the prey drive in a person. The big revelation I had was a story about my wife. My wife did drugs every single day from 21 to 24. Hardcore drugs. She had no dreams, no goals, no ambition, no purpose. She was raised in a great Christian home, but they never pushed her. I was raised by a single mom. When I was growing up, my dad never hugged me. He never told me he loved me. He never come to a baseball game. I had almost zero relationship with my father growing up. Okay? My wife was raised in a good Christian home in West Tennessee, but they never pushed her. She was never involved in sports. So I was raised by a tough single mom. How many of you are raised by a tough single mom in here? And that woman pushed me, man. We don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. We show up, we grow up, and we deliver. We always over-deliver on what we promise. That's the way I was raised. Tough. Never missed a day of school growing up because my mom wouldn't let me. When I want to miss school, she's like, we don't miss school. We don't miss things. We show up. That was how I was raised because my mom was only 16 years old when she had me. And it wasn't cool in the 70s to have a kid while you were a kid, right? And be going to school. And so my wife grew up in West Tennessee, but never had a lot of direction, coaching, purpose. And I didn't know her during that period of her life. So from 20 to 30, I was married to one thing. I was married to winning. Winning basketball games. Building a championship. My wife comes to college, drops out of college, gets involved with all kinds of shady people. How many of you believe that that who you hang around matters? Yes. Okay. How many believe that you either play up or play down based on who you hang around? Okay. Well, my wife hung around all the wrong people. Got involved in all the wrong things. At 30 years old, her company, Verizon, paid $50 for her to come to a workshop that I did call This Ain't No Practice Life. All in a book I wrote many years ago. There's only 50 people there, maybe 50. They paid $50 a piece. She sat in the back corner. She sat there and just took notes like crazy. And then when she was finished, she walked straight up to me. She said, look, I need to meet with you. And she was really pretty. So I'm like, sure, step over here. I'm like, I'm available right now. Now, if you come up to me and be like, you got to see my assistant, they'll take care of you. Now, so she's like, no, not like that, okay? She's like, I need to talk to you about my potential. She said, nobody's ever talked to me about my potential. Nobody's ever told me I have potential. Nobody's ever coached me like this. She said, I'm going to go read this book and come back 2 weeks later. She came back 2 weeks later, the book was ripped out. Pages were ripped out, highlighted. She said, I got a gift. I think it's a gift of hospitality. I said, I'm going to help you start your own catering company. You're gonna, because she loved food. She loved taking care of people. She has this gift of loving on people and spending time with people. And I said, man, we're going to help you find your talent and do something bigger with your talent. So she started her own catering company. Okay. Now let's fast forward X number of years later, me and my wife have 2 beautiful kids. Now my wife is using her gift of hospitality in our retreats. When we do retreats, she handles all the food. She takes care of the people. She's now writing her own book. She's got a book out called Living with a Monster. Right? Like living with a honey badger. It's about how you do something big. How do you get on the same page with each other and get in alignment and do something big? The same person that did drugs every day for 3 years is now writing her own books, is now coaching women, is now helping us lead marriage retreats. What happened to her? Her prey drive was activated. And apparently her sex drive, because we have 2 kids. Now, thank you. You clap for that. Maybe it's my sex drive was activated. Now, here's my point. What I just told you is a story of origin. That was a big revelation for me, is that everybody has a prey drive inside them. But for many people, that prey drive has never been activated. A good coach can activate that drive. Everybody see that? Now, that is a story of origin for that book. Here's what I believe. I believe deep within every person is a latent and undeveloped drive. That drive is typically activated when you have a great coach in your life. Let me tell you a story of how that drive was activated in my wife to do something big, right? That is called a story of origin, where I'm telling you a story that connects to you at a deeper level. Right? Last year or 2 years ago, insurance company called in. They said, we want your wife to coach all our women. All the women in our company. And I'm like, well, how much you guys going to pay? They said $50,000. And I said, she'll take it. So I went home that night and I said, I got you a coaching gig. She's like, what? I don't coach people. Like, I'm not a coach like you. And I'm like, put them high heels on, girl. We're going to do it. Now, how many of you had your beliefs? Why do you believe that? I want you to tell the person beside you why you believe what you believe. What prompted you to believe what you believe? What scenario, what story, what happened in your life that you believe what you believe? That was your revelation, yes or no? Okay. And if you don't, why should you tell this when you're talking to other people? Connect to their heart. There are 4 parts to a person's nature: body, mind, heart, and spirit. Each of those parts produce different needs, different dimensions, different intelligences. Right? Where does the real connection come? See, it's tough. When I was getting media coaching many years ago, I asked them, what's the one thing that keep me from being a big time person? You know what they told me? You won't be vulnerable. Do you know how hard it is for me to talk about not having a relationship with my father when I was growing up? I'm like, I ain't talking about that stuff. I ain't going there when I'm in front of people. And my coaches said, if you don't go there, you will never connect to the heart of people. And that's the ultimate connection. So finally, I'm like, you're right. I'm going to tell it off. You're going to tell it? I'm going to tell it all. You can't imagine what happened in my career when I started connecting to people at a deeper level. Isn't attraction really just connection to another person? Yes or no? Yes. To their heart. I'm attracted to who you are and everything you've been through and what I can be with you. So tell the person beside you, why do you believe what you believe? Because this is your story of origin. Take a second and tell them right now. What do you think? Making any progress? Think we're connecting with them? Okay, good. It's a big audience.
How much time do you need for the audience?
I'll probably go about 20 or 30 more minutes and be done.
You want me to cut watch the time?
Yeah.
You want to cut out about 1/4 till?
Yes. Yes. Now, You need to be ready to collect some data from people too. Right? All right. All right, let's stay focused on what we're trying to do is duplication. Attracting. When I was a high school basketball coach, I had some great players. And I made a rule that I would sit in on the recruiting visits of all my players. Okay, at one time every Sunday I would go to church with a different player. So I'd say, if you want me to go to church with you on Sunday, I'd love to meet you and your family, spend Sunday with you. Right? And they would sign up, and I would go to church with the players, just get to know them at a deeper level, typically go to their house and have Sunday lunch with them. After every practice, I would pick one player, and I would take that player for a walk around the football stadium. And I would ask a real simple question. How you doing? How's your life? How's your parents? How's your boyfriend? How's your school? And then I would always ask this question. What can I do to be a better coach for you? What can I do? Sometimes I ask my wife, what can I do to be a better husband to you? I ask my 9-year-old daughter, what can I do to be a better dad to you? Because I believe we can all get better, right? That started because one of my professors in college, I went to college for 9 years to get 3 degrees, and I don't remember 5 of my professors. Except one professor. One professor after class one day came to me and she said, Mr. Burt, can I walk you to your next class? And I said, you want to walk me to class? Like I'm not a very good student. I sit in the back, wear a hat down. She's like, yes, sir. Just want to walk and talk to you for a second. So she walked me to my next class and she said to me, Mr. Burt, I see a lot of potential in you. What can I do to be a better professor to help you reach your potential? And I said, you just did it. You just took an interest in me. My pastor at church came to me one day and he said, look, I follow your career. I was just wondering if you would coach me. He took an interest in me. He said, you know, we do a lot of stuff for men, tough, fishing, hunting, but we don't do enough for business guys around here. Would you start doing stuff at church for the businessmen? Could we include your talent? What do you think that did for my engagement? See, part of attracting other people is being interested in other people. Would you agree? Yes. And actually caring about them as people. They're not a number to you. They're not a transaction to you. You are in the business of transformation. Why do you believe what you believe? See, the best recruiters I know, the reason I told you I coach all the top people at these other companies that are direct selling models is because I watch and observe how good they are at connecting to other people. How good they take an interest in people. How much of their life is spent pouring into people. It's not what you can do for me. It's what, how can I pour into you? And the more people you pour into, the more people are going to be attracted to your team. How many of you have worked with a broker or worked with a brokerage that never poured anything into you? How did you feel about that? Okay. So your story of origin is getting real clear in why you believe what you believe, but I need you to tell it to me in a way that I go, man, that's good. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in you. 30 years old, nobody had ever taken an interest in my wife, in her potential. They took an interest in her because she was beautiful. They didn't take an interest in her because she had a bigger future. And there's people out there all over the world that nobody's taken interest in. There's real estate agents literally everywhere that go to work every day. If somebody just paid attention to them, cared about them, believed in them, poured into them, they're dying for somebody like you. To be a part of a company this vibrant, this exciting. But you got to make up your mind. I'm going to become one of the top recruiting people in the world. Because when I watched those coaches come and recruit my kids, I would watch how good they were with people. And the ones who would sit down and say, this is what we believe at our university. This is why we believe this. This is what we're going to do with your daughter. This is how we're going to make sure she's taken care of. That's what the mom and daddy wanted to know, right? They weren't as interested in how many games she was going to win. They want to know somebody's going to take care of my kid. When I send them off to you, you're going to look after them. Best recruiter I ever seen asked me a question, who's going to make this decision? The mama. I said, the mama's going to make the decision, not the dad. After dinner, the mom, getting all the dishes, went into the kitchen to start washing the dishes. Guess where that coach went? She walked right into that kitchen, rolled her sleeves up, started washing dishes with that mama. And I thought, she's good. She's good. Right? Guess where that kid went to school? See, I got to see the best recruiters in the world. And I'm like, dang, that's good. They never led with all the other stuff. They led with this, man. They led with what I'm teaching you tonight. Okay? So step 3, after you know what you did, now the third part is, what are you going to do? Here's the next step. What are you going to do? This is very important. If I ask you right now, okay, if I join your EXP team, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Well, let me tell you what we do. We give you world-class coaching. We give you a chance to do this. We give you a structure. Notice what I'm saying. We give you. Here's what we give you. When you join my team, we're going to give you access to this. We're going to give you a dynamic network. We're going to show you exactly how to grow your business. We're going to give you, right? Whatever it is. This is what's going to happen when you join our team. Okay? I tell people I'm going to give you 30 years of my coaching experience. I'm going to give you access to a dynamic network of like-minded people. I'm going to give you a structure of accountability. I'm going to give you these things when you join my program. And I want what I'm going to give you to be so much that you're like, that's crazy. Look at everything I'm going to get when I go over here and join this team. Okay? And if I were you, I would be using the honey badger concept. Because let me tell you who it's going to attract. People like you. I'm attracted to that concept. Because I'm a honey badger.
Come on.
Right? I mean, I am, man. So when I really looked it up, and I'm like, man, dude, no wonder. I'm one of them. Here's my point. If you put that into your deal, you're going to attract other people just like you. So if I ask you right now, okay, I'm ready. What's going to happen when I sign up? When I leave where I'm at, man, I'm scared to death. I am scared to death. I've been here for years. I got loyalty to this person. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm scared. Fear and uncertainty are 2 reasons a person doesn't take action. Fear. I'm afraid of something. Okay? And fear, right? Face everything and run. Face everything and rise. Which one's it going to be? I'm afraid of something. I understand. I know this is a scary decision for you. The word decide means to kill something off. The word decision means to cut something away. I'm here to help you make a decision. When you join my team, these are the 3 things we're going to do for you that nobody in the world can do. What do I get when I join your team, by the way? What do I get from you? What are the 3 things I can get from you that I can't get anywhere else? What are the 3 concepts? What is the 3 things that when I join your team, like, look, why should I join your team? Here's the funny thing about recruiting, especially when you run a business like me, the people you're looking for ain't looking for you. Right or wrong? The best people are already successful, making money. So the most successful people that are already in real estate got to have some meat on the bone if they're going to leave where they're at to come to you. Yes or no? It's like, I'm already successful. Why would I join you? I started an insurance agency literally 3 months ago. Okay, I was sitting in a meeting here in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace at 9:30 the other night with one of the top insurance people. And my business partner looked at him and said, we're going to open this up with 4,000 agents in the first 3 months. These are the people I have already attracted before I even opened the agency. The dude said, 4,000 people? He's like, 4,000 people are leaving who they're with to come over to your... I said, yes, sir. Why? You know what I said? Because I believe that there's 4 parts of a person's nature: a body, a mind, a heart, and a spirit. I believe that most insurance agencies are not feeding those 4 parts. I believe there's 4 phases of wealth accumulation. First, you find your talent, then you refine your talent, then you package your talent, then you monetize your talent. Our agency is called 4-part financial. That's what I believe, right? He's like, man, we've never seen an insurance agency open up with 4,000 agents before within the first 3 months. He said, that's what you're attracting to you. Everybody see that? Now here's the deal. I don't know all those people. I don't even know who they are. All I'm doing is going out there sharing a message with the world. And every day we're bringing in 30 to 40 new ones per day. My partner's like, man, we're onboarding people like crazy. All because they see me speak. They're watching videos. What if I didn't have a core belief? Why would they join our insurance agency? What are they joining? What are we going to do? Here's what I told my partner. We want to make sure those people get well coached by me. If they want a connection to me, they need to get a connection to me. Everybody see that? What are you going to do? So I like using 4 mores. Okay? John, when you join our team, there's 4 things, man, it's going to happen. You're going to be more equipped. You're going to be more motivated. You're going to be more connected. You're going to be more. There's an impression of increase. People of interest give off the impression of increase. They give off a feeling of abundance. Right? When I'm with you, I feel better about me. Man, I can do anything because of you. Okay? This is what you give off. So what do I get when I join your team? Okay? I want you to tell the person beside you the 3 top things you're going to give me when I join your team. And it may be energy. It may be confidence. It may be a network. It may be skills. It may be coach. I don't know. What are you going to give me? What are you going to give me? What are you going to do for me when I join your team? Take a second to tell that person beside you.
Working on building a second automation. Just they can do the honey badger, right, for the author. But tell them just, hey, we'd love to send you a free something. I haven't decided what we're going to send yet, but just tell them to have EXP to the number, and then they'll get a
same number.
Yeah, that same number. So honey badger, we'll tag them for the offer, and then they just send EXP, and it should work.
Okay, test it. We're good one time.
Well, yeah. I like being able to do this on the fly.
Yeah, text it real quick and let me know. I just don't want to confuse them.
Well, but just say, for you that don't want to take the offer and just want to stay connected, just send EXP to the same number. And just say, we're going to send you a free refund.
Okay. Is this okay? Okay.
So it worked. If you type EXP, I just said, I enjoyed coaching you tonight, explaining the explanation.
Explanations misspelled.
Oh, I'll go for it. Explanation. Okay, I'll go fix it. So we'd love the opportunity to stay connected. Please reply with your name and number.
Okay. All right. We got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. Give me, hey, give a little clap right here. Let's go. 3 times. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. I got to keep you up, folks. Y'all just getting started. This is my 5th day in Vegas. I'm ready to go home. Vegas is about to kill me. I done 7 events in Vegas. I called my wife. I said, I'm out. Okay? I'm coming home. Here's the deal. There's 3 things. There's 3 reasons a person joins another person. Trust, belonging, and purpose. If you study great cultures, why would I join you? There's 3 reasons I would join you. Number 1, listen to what I'm about to tell you. I trust that there's nobody in the world who's better at getting me to another level. See, if you study the hero's journey, whether it be Donald Miller or Brunson or any of those people, this is the first thing you got to understand. In the story, you are not the hero. They are. You, the hero, is going on a journey. I'm trying to grow my real estate business. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to double my business. You are the guide. They have an ambition in life. Your job is to move them from A to B. And if they trust that there is nobody better than you to move them from A to B, they're going to join your team. Everybody see that? And a lot of trust has to do with authenticity. Being a real person, caring real, and people can feel that authenticity. Everybody with me? Trust, belonging. So what I love about the Honey Badger Nations, there's a lot of what I call belonging cues. There's things for you to be involved in. There's sessions and coachings and trainings, and that gives you a belonging, like I'm part of something. I'm part of something bigger. Okay? And the third thing is purpose. We're doing big things here. It's not just about making money to us. We're going to help. We're going to do good. We're going to do well financially by doing good by people. We're going to do well financially by doing real good for others. Everybody see that? This is what we do when you join our team. I couldn't recruit as a high school basketball coach because I was at a public school. But nobody said I couldn't attract. Had the nicest locker rooms, the best coaches, spotless and meticulous everything. And those moms and dads would come over there and they would say, man, we want our daughter to play for you. And I said, well, I can't recruit you. If you want to come to us, you got to make an appointment with the front office, come down and see me. You got to initiate this. I can't. They would come down to our office and I'd tell them what we believe. We believe basketball is just basically a vehicle to teach life skills. I'm going to teach your daughter the 7 habits of highly effective people, the principles of good to great, the 5 dysfunctions of teams. I'm going to have a life after basketball program. I'm going to link your daughter up with successful women in the community. We believe just because you're a great athlete doesn't mean you can be a lousy person. We believe in integrity. And I'd say at Christmas, we're going to go somewhere cool. We're going to go to Arizona or California or Florida because we believe we can teach your kid how to do big things when she plays for us. And those parents would say to me, where do we sign up? Because we went and met with those other coaches. Man, they didn't talk like this at all. They didn't have a locker room like this at all. First step in doing something big is identity. How do you see you? You need to see yourself as the best in the world. There ain't nobody better than you. There ain't nobody better than you. And until you see yourself that way, other people are going to detect you don't believe in you. I am recruiting or attracting people based on who I am. What are you going to do? I'm going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. I've got a unique system for helping you double your business. We're going to teach you how to duplicate. We're going to have a community. This is what we do around here. Step 4. How do we do it different? I'm sure you've gotten this question before. I know somebody said, how is EXP really different than everybody else? Y'all got that question? Okay. Don't you think you need to be ready for that one? I'm so glad you asked, man. There's really 3 things. Okay? There's really 3 things we do that's totally different. Sometimes I'm on the phone with a person and they say, man, we're looking at Tony Robbins. We're looking at you. What's really different from you and Tony? I said, well, let me ask you a question. When's the last time Tony called you? They said, what? I said, has Tony Robbins ever called you? I said, well, no. And I said, well, you're talking to me. You're going to have access to me. Does access matter to you? You've been able to talk to me. When Al wants to call me, he just calls me. We don't have to schedule it because that's how I feel about people. You with me? Sometimes people go, you're right, I'm in. You got to know what makes you different than other people. Your differentials come from your past, typically. There's no two pasts that are the same. 7 billion people on planet Earth, right? No two people have lived the same life. Every person in this room has something unique to offer. What makes you different is your past. I am really paying you for your past. So what makes you different? Based on my unique past, based on my unique experiences, there's really 3 reasons. 3 things that make us different than everybody else. And we're going to use our past to help you build your future. It's really 3 things at EXP that make us different than everybody else. It's really 3 concepts. Now you need to know what makes you different. And if you don't know, then what's going to happen is you look the same. Would you say it's clear that EXP has a different business model? Yes or no? Okay. Now, why wouldn't a person just see it and get it and change immediately? Based on what you know after tonight?
Fear.
Fear. They don't, right? I'm convinced I could walk up to some people in this hotel and say, here's $1 million from me to you. There'd be some people go, I don't want it. There's got to be some kind of catch to it. Yes or no? Yes. If I said, no, I'm giving you $1 million. Just take it. There'd be some people go, because they're scared to death, man. You look at some real estate agents and you say, hey, let me tell you what makes us different. They're like, I don't want that. Hey, we're growing at a ridiculous rate. 10,000 new agents a month. I don't want any of that. Okay. There is no such thing as rejection. Some will, some won't. So what? I'm just going to keep on moving. Based on the numbers I showed you earlier, how many of you think you're not even talking to enough people every week? See, this is the first problem. If I ask you, how many people did you talk to about EXP today? Yesterday? The day before? If you said, Coach, I'm very serious in duplication. I'm very serious in passive income. I'm very serious in building a fast-growing organization. I'm going to ask you, how much time do you spend on it every day? How many people did you talk to this week? How many people did you present the idea to? How many people have you followed up with? And if that number's small, what am I going to say? You ain't that serious. Because your actions are not aligning with your words. And your actions speak louder than your words. So here's the deal. What makes you different? What is your differential advantage? Now let's put this into category. You're sitting with me, you're trying to recruit me. Number 1, what do you believe? Number 2, why do you believe it? Number 3, what are you going to do when I join your team? Number 4, what makes you different than everybody else? Why should I do this? What is the differential here? Everybody with me? Number 5, who have you done this for? See, this is where it really gets interesting. We were able to help an agent just like you go from here to here. We were able to help a person that was in the same group yours was go from here to here. Success sells. Right? Who have you worked with? Who have you helped? What have they done? Can you tell me about it? Man was able to take an agent just like you, go from here to here. And they're blowing up their business. They're doing better than they've ever been. They're making more money than they've ever made. They're living down in Puerto Rico. Who would want to do that? Right? Here's my point. Give me success. That is, see, when you study persuasion, there are 6 tenets of persuasion. One of those tenets is called credibility indicators. Who have you worked with? What have you done with those people? Does your system work? That's what you ought to be saying. Man, I was working with somebody just like you. They were scared just like you are. They didn't want to do it. Man, let me tell you what's happening in their life right now. It's crazy. They have blown up their business like you can't imagine. Like, this is crazy. This is where you get into success. And this is where you start converting people. Oh, if they're involved in it, then maybe I should be involved in it. Now my mind's open. Now my mind's open to possibility. All of this is leading us up to something very important. What's the important part? Asking. Just asking another person. Courtney, if we could do this for you like we've done for all these other people, what would stop you from moving forward with us? See that? Look at how direct that question is. If we could do this for you like we have done for all these other people, what would stop you from joining us? See, now we get into conversion. How many of you do a great job of talking to people but a bad job of converting people? You know what the word close means? It means to bring something to an end. It means to bring two things together. What we're really doing is we're bringing your desire to be involved with something dynamic and our ability to do it. We're bringing these two things together. See, when I follow up with people, follow up in conversion, when do I make up my mind if I'm going 7 touches? In the first 15 seconds. Are you hungry? Are you humble? Are you coachable? Then I make up my mind. Why would I go 7 to 15 touches? Because I showed you the Law of Diffusion, right? Every stat in America says that you got to go 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time to convert a prospect to a client. Okay? That's a stat. Now, 83% of all stats are completely made up. But for the purposes of this presentation, we're going to believe this one. Now, how many of you, so I made up my mind. I like this dude. Hey, I'm interested in you. Boom. Now I'm going to work through it. This is what we believe. This is why we believe it, man. This is what we do. This is how we do it different. Now, if we could do it for you, what would stop you from moving forward with me? Now, when I follow up with people on these 7 touches, I want you to hear what I'm about to tell you. I have 3 soft touches to every 1 hard touch. Well, I call that non-direct or non-linear to linear. So if we take a meeting, I'm like, man, I really enjoyed meeting with you. I'm just going to summarize the meeting. We talked about this. We talked about this. Here's a video I want you to watch. Everybody see that? That's a non-linear touch. Touch number 2. Man, I just wanted to give you some examples of some people we're working with. Okay? We took old John Kitchens from here to here. Be happy to put you on the phone with him if you want to talk to him at some point. Soft. 3rd touch, right? Maybe it's a video. Maybe it's something non-linear. Something that's a soft touch. Feed information. Man, I've been thinking about the exact strategy we would use with you to help you really blow up your business. These are some strategies I've used with some other agents doing similar numbers as you. Soft touch. Every 3rd time, the 4th time, I go direct. Man, listen to what I'm about to tell you. Seems like you want to do this. It sounds like this perfect. It feels like you're ready to get started. It sounds like, it seems like, it feels like. Okay, if you study any top negotiator, they'll teach you to say that. Seems like you want to do this, man, but you're stuck on one thing. Am I right about that? If I could show you how we help that person, if I got you on the phone with them, let you talk to them, would you be open to that? Because it feels like, man, you're dying to do something big. Okay? Then I go back soft touch. Right? When I get to touch number 7, I say, man, have you noticed how hard I've worked to get you on board with us? Listen to these words. I can't help you till you commit. But once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. I can't help you till you commit. The word decide means to kill something off. I know you're scared. I know I was scared too, man. I can't help you till you commit to this. But once you commit, we ain't in the business of helping people fail. We're in the business of helping people succeed. Now, I keep pushing to something in the future, which is why the webinars are real quick. Hey, watch this webinar that Al and I did where we break down these 3 things. Right? Send things to people that they can watch on their own time when their mind is relaxed. The brain makes big decisions when the neocortex gets involved. And the neocortex gets involved when it's relaxed, not when it's under pressure. So I like to send things for people to watch on the weekend. Like I did a whole video, like if you're choosing a coach, here's some things you should think about when choosing a coach. I didn't say you got to choose me. A lot of people say, which is the right coach for me? So I said, man, here's just some points I would use if I was looking for a coach. When I look for a coach, that is a soft touch. Everybody see that? When you're thinking about blowing your real estate business up, these are 3 things I did to blow my business up. Watch this video. Give it to them where they can watch it on their own time and their own, right? These are soft touches. Jab, 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 hook. Have you seen enough to make a decision? I can't help you till you commit. Man, I love you. Man, I love you. I'm trying to help you here. Are you ready to get started? It seems like you want to do this. It feels like you're ready to move forward with me. Am I right about that? Now, when you get to this point, here's a big distinction. Some of you sales flirt, which means you talk, smile, talk some more. And you don't have this pray drive moment where you just go, man, I can't help you till you commit to this. I'm ready to get you started right now. Let's do it. Let's do this. And some people are going to go, sign me up. I've been waiting. People are silently begging to be led. They've been looking for you. They've been looking for you, man. They've been looking for EXP. They're frustrated. Frustration just misguided enthusiasm. Someone on the inside that wants to come out. I'm looking for somebody like you to take me to the next level. Now, when you think about these things, we're coming down the home stretch here. How many of you would say you got people right now that are in the red zone? People that are hot, people that are close, people that are interested. Right? I'm doing an event with Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze was a head coach at Ole Miss. He scored more points on Nick Saban than any college football coach when he was at Ole Miss. Beat Alabama 3 times. So I'm doing an event with him down in Florida at my house in Florida. I called him outside and I said, man, Hugh, I got a question for you. What are you the best at in the world? Okay, outside of illegal recruiting. Just joking. He said, Coach, I didn't know anything about that. I'm like, I know you didn't. No judgment. You know what he said to me? There's nobody in the world better at scoring in the red zone than me. 20-yard line. We get the ball on the 20-yard line, we're going to score a touchdown. There are people right now who are right there in the red zone for you to close to join your EXP team. An object at rest will stay at rest unless acted on by an outside force. You are the force. An object in motion will stay in motion unless acted on by an outside force. They ain't going to move until you move them, folks. Look at the purpose of the follow-up. The purpose of the follow-up is to rekindle an initial attraction. The purpose of the follow-up is to help a person make a decision. The purpose of the follow-up is to give people information. The purpose of the follow-up is not to touch base, to check in, to see if you have any questions. Like this is how people follow up. Do you have any questions about EXP? Does that help me make a decision? I love this one. Hey, I woke up thinking about you today. That's creepy. Don't tell people you woke up thinking about them. Just wonder if you're ready to get started? No. The purpose of my phone call today is to help you make a decision, man. We've been talking about this. I've listened to you talk about how frustrated you are. I know what your goals are in real estate. I know you're trying to get to some passive income. Man, I can't help you on this until you commit to something, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. That's the reason I'm calling you today. Purpose of my phone call is to show you step by step in how I can get you from A to B if you join my team. The purpose of my phone call is to get you out of that level you're at to the level you're capable of going. Now, you ready to go? See, this is how you need to follow up with people. You need to follow up with the purpose of converting them. Conversion means take nothing, turn it. I'm taking your interest and converting it to an action. This is how you recruit people, folks. Is you follow up with the purpose. Now, I started the presentation by asking a simple question. At some point in your life, you make a decision to leave your amateur desires behind and you make a decision to go pro. You go pro in the body, physical. You go pro in the mind, that's mental. You go pro in the heart, it's emotional. You go pro in the spirit. When I am coaching people, I'm coaching them through this system to help them go pro in their life. The EOS is a huge part of the system because having something to say is just as important as having somebody to say it to. I could put you in front of 1,000 agents, but if you don't have anything powerful to say, man, that's compelling, then people are going to look at you and go, I'm out. What you're really selling is not EXP, man. What you're really selling is a belief and a vehicle to get a person to another level. That's what you're selling. And when you can get really good at selling that, you're not going to sell. You're going to attract so many people to you, so much opportunity to you, so much talent to you. You're going to be like, where did all these people come from? Because they are attracted to something much bigger than themselves. Trust, belonging, and purpose. I asked Al and Jay what was one thing that I could contribute to the Honey Badger Nation. What's one thing that I could do to help? And I told you a story about my wife, about us getting on the same page when she wrote the book Living with a Monster. When I say monster, my coaching program is called Monster Producer. That's why she wrote Living with a Monster. Okay, and in that book, in about chapter 3, she talks about cooperating with ambition versus competing against it. When we first got married, we fought a lot because I had such big dreams and such big ambitions that she always saw my ambition as a direct threat to our relationship. And one day she came to me and she said, you know what? I'm going to quit competing versus your drive. Because I don't ever want to hold you back from your dreams. I'm going to start cooperating with that drive. And when she made that simple decision, our lives went to a freakish level. And I said, here's the deal. I want you to include your talent and me to include my talent. And I want us to do something together in accord with each other and go to the next level. Because of that, we started doing a couples retreat. And we called it Living with a Monster, couples retreat. How do you live with an obsessed person? How do you get on the same page? How do you deal with their schedule? How do you deal with each other? How do you work in relationship? So a few weeks ago I did this, and Al came down, Courtney came down to our retreat down in Florida. And man, they had a great experience. And Al came to me a few days later and said, man, we got to do one for the honey badgers because it ain't easy living with a honey badger. Would y'all agree? Y'all are driven and fierce and crazy. And so I'm like, I'm in, man. I'm in. So because of that belief, we put one together. And what we're looking for is this is Al right here down at our house in Florida. And they're working on their goals. And they're working on their dreams. And they're working on our ambitions. And I said, here's what we'll do. We'll take 20 couples. We'll do it down in Seaside, Florida, Watercolor, Florida, where our house is. We rent these big, nice houses. You have your own suite. You got your own bathroom. You come down and you spend 3 days with us having dinner. We do coaching during the day. At night, you get to spend time connecting and reconnecting with each other. And I said, man, I'm even willing to call it Living with the Honey Badger. Just for you. So if you're out there and you're like, man, that's for me, I'm in. We can only hold 20 to keep it intimate. But all you have to do is text that number, 492-615-492-9030. You type in Honey Badger. It's going to send you a link. We typically charge $5,000 for these. We include the meal on Thursday night, all the lodging, in a multi-million-dollar house. We feed you each day. But more than anything, how powerful will it be for you to walk out there on the same page with each other?